Good afternoon, Ultimate Family. Me and Jax, the Wonder Dog here, Townsend Wardlaw, PFC, Peace, Freedom, Connection. Your public service reminder that Tracksuit Thursday, second Thursday of every month, is coming up, almost February. I've got it's going to be a fun week. It's going to be a fun week of things that I'm sharing because most of my week this week is doing outreach, connect calls with people. Some of you may be familiar with the Prosperous Coach, Rich Litvin, and that Steve Chandler guy. But that's a process that I use, and I connect with people and sometimes invite them to a coaching conversation. Anyway, whole point is this week is all connect conversations, so I'm doing a lot of them. I probably have 30 conversations scheduled this week with people. Most are folks that I've talked to in the past. Some I'm reconnecting. I've got a very systematic way of doing this. So rather than sharing with you about being from the standpoint of, client conversations, coaching conversations. Hi, Anita. I'm going to be sharing with being from the perspective of enrolling, which creates a whole nother canvas for our being, doesn't it? And I know there's lots of coaches in the community and people that are, in internal coaching roles or coaches themselves. Enrolling others, having enrollment conversations is, again, I think of it like a canvas. Who hope they go well for everyone? Matt. I'm not sure what that means. So today I've already talked to 6 or 7 people. And for me, I'm enrolling. I'm talking to them about my Creating Your Extraordinary Life experience, which is a group thing I run. Now, I'm not pitching them. I'm literally just connecting with these folks and talking. But for most of these folks, that's the context. We've talked about this group experience before. I'm seeing where they're at, seeing what's new in their lives. And whenever the topic of money comes up, asking for it or being asked, man, we got all sorts of thoughts about it. And what I want to use this, at least today, these stories about, thanks, Matt, thanks for the clarification, is to point to how being creates our reality, right? There's a beingness I bring to these calls. There's a beingness other people bring to these calls. Even the act of setting up connect calls, people that I've talked to in the past, there's a couple people I reached out to today to try and get scheduled that I probably talked to them 3 or 4 times last year. I sent them a text message, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, no response. Well, I have a process I follow. I send my text message inviting them to a conversation. The second one is a couple question marks, like, did you get it? And I even could feel myself in a couple of circumstances like resisting, like, oh, I don't want to be bugging them. They didn't answer. I don't want to bug them. Well, there's a being that's creating the thought, I don't want to bug them. So I had to look at the being that was creating it and recreate the being. And then I sent the message. I had to be somebody who was comfortable. Multiple pings. Trevor. What's up, brother? So who we're being, trying to get people to talk to us, trying to get into a conversation, and all the fears, insecurities, doubts that shows up. Who we're being when we get them on the phone. Oh, are they thinking I'm trying to get them someplace? Are they thinking I'm trying to sell them or manipulate them? Oh, it's never ending. Since time today is short, I got to run back to some calls in a minute. I want to share one particular story that really was just, man, it's a cool story. And know that the rest of this week, I'm going to be checking in from time to time because I haven't had one of these, really intensive enrollment weeks. So there's going to be a lot of stuff popping I want to share. Anyway, so today I had the chance to connect with somebody who actually has been through this experience with me. So conceptually, the Creating Your Extraordinary Life experience, conceptually, and from a methodology standpoint, they understand being. They understand that our being creates all of our thoughts and creates our reality. And we were chatting a little bit, and there was something a little funky in the conversation. I couldn't pick up what it was. This is somebody I've known a long time and served very powerfully. Probably halfway through our conversation, he says, I need to come clean with you about something. I said, wonderful. And he proceeded to share with me the story of the last time we spoke, which probably was 6 months ago. And what he shared was how, in that conversation, he saw how I was seeking to manipulate him into working with me, into writing me a check. And I was talking to him about working one-on-one with me, so it's a big check. And how that was really hurtful to him. It was really disappointing to him. You know, for the last 6 months, you know, he hasn't wanted to talk to me or even respond to me because of what I did. Now, notice my language. I didn't say, well, he thought. No, that's what happened for him. So he shared this whole thing about what I had done to him and how I had shown up in that conversation, right? Basically, you know, if you're a coach, it's like your worst fear. Somebody is calling you out on, you were manipulating me, right? And I'm going to keep it at a high level for the purpose of discretion, but basically I was using his relationship with someone in his family to manipulate him, to get him to, you know, I was kind of using that against him. And when he finished, I said, I want to thank you for sharing that with me. And I said, I want you to hear me. I see how you see what I did to you. I see how you see what happened and what I did to you. And I wasn't being glib or sarcastic or coachy or anything. I literally was looking through the being that was talking to me and going, holy shit. From where he's looking, this guy who he trusted, who he thought was here to help, came in and did the unspeakable, betrayed his trust, tried to hurt him, tried to manipulate him using something very dear to him. I saw it. I felt it. What I didn't do was say, you're wrong. What I didn't do is say, that's not what I meant, right? Because if you really get the power of being, well, what that being would simply see is more of this guy that tried to hurt us once, trying to do it again or trying to get off the hook. So all I said was, I acknowledge what you see from where you're seeing it. And I get how hurtful that is to you. And I said, and I promise you, I'm not going to try and talk you out of it. I'm not going to try and tell you that it didn't happen. I said, I'll also let you know that from this point, there's not a lot else for us to talk about, right? I mean, truth is, whatever I say, I'm the guy that betrayed your trust and hurt you. And I get it. So let's not pretend. Let's not, make believe we got a conversation or I can serve you or coach you or anything. So know that I'm okay with that. Know that I hear what's going on and I accept it, and that's that. And I'm not saying you're wrong. And I'm not telling you I did something different. I said, can I ask you a couple questions? Knowing from how you see the world, I know who you see asking you, so I'll do my best to not ask you something that seems manipulative, but that'll be up to you. He said, yeah. I said, have you ever seen something one way and then, something else shifts and you see it another way? He goes, yeah, all the time. I said, yeah, good. I said, are you open to the possibility that what you saw that was real to you, if you were looking at it differently, you would see something else? He said, I would want that more than anything in the world. I said, well, why? He goes, well, because I want to be able to work with you. I want to be able to trust you, but I just can't with what you did. I said, okay, I got it. I know what I did, but we share the language of being. So I could tell he, when I say from who you're being, he gets what that means. Yeah, Casey, it's you didn't miss that much. I'm just talking about a kind of a tough conversation with somebody related to enrolling them, and how we deal with the level of being. So I said, are you open to the possibility that maybe you're able to see this from a different perspective, and then seeing it from a different angle, it would look different to you, and then you'd have different thoughts about it. He said, yes. I said, cool. I'm going to give you an exercise to do, and it's an invitation. I said, I'm going to promise you a couple things. One, we won't speak again, and that's not a punishment, but that's if this isn't something to resolve, then there's no reason for this guy that hurt you and betrayed your trust to call you again. That's not going to be useful for you or me, and I don't want to create any more pain. But I would invite you to follow this exercise, and you could see what you'll see. I'm not going to do it with you. I'm not going to facilitate it with you. I'm not going to try to get you to do it. I'm not going to get you committed to doing it. It's up to you. Now, what I'll tell you is this exercise I'm going to give you, even if you don't choose to do it about what happened with us, you can do this everywhere in your life. The challenge is you started the conversation telling me about how hard life was with family member. You could use this exercise and that will change your life forever. I said, that will be the greatest gift I could ever give you, even if for the rest of life, the guy that gave you the gift is somebody who betrayed you. So I'm going to give you this gift. I'm going to invite you to go through this exercise because it's an exercise that will allow you to see the being that's producing the thoughts about our interaction, right? Remember, Steve talks about it's never the person, it's our thoughts about the person. We had an interaction months ago, and he has very strong thoughts about the interaction. His thoughts are, this guy betrayed my trust. This guy tried to hurt me. This guy tried to swindle me, right? I'm not saying that's real or not real. What I know is from who he's being, it's fucking real. There's evidence. He knows what I said. Now, if we had a video camera there, recording it or audio, maybe the words wouldn't be what he thought they were, but that's what he heard. That's how powerful being is. So, I'll give you a high level of the exercise. It's not a prescription. It's not like go do this, but just so you have an idea, and then I got to jump on a call here. But I said, I want you to go and take out a yellow pad and write all of the thoughts about this incident. Get your thoughts out on paper. Whatever's going on that you see, it's real to you. So start writing your thoughts. Start with the I am that Townsend tried to screw me. I am that Townsend deceived me. I am that Townsend used a family member to manipulate. Write as much as you can what's true for you. Because it's true. Get the truth, quote unquote, the thoughts out on paper. Don't stop till you have 2 full pages of thoughts written. I know you can come up with 2 pages of thoughts. And then when you're done, ask the question, how must my being be creating itself to produce these thoughts? And I'll give you guys an example. If the thought is, Townsend tried to manipulate us, manipulate me, well, that being must see itself as manipulatable. That being must know that it is vulnerable, must create itself as vulnerable, right? That's the being. The being must have a vulnerability concept to produce the thought, I can be hurt. I said, create all these judgments, write them out. And then follow the process that we worked on, that you learned. You know this already from working together in my Creating Your Extraordinary Life experience. Follow the process to clear those judgments. Thank you, Lindsay. That's sweet. And then use your declaration to recreate yourself. And the new truth is, and go through your declaration. And that will shift your being. And from that place, I would ask you, what do you remember about our conversation? And I promise you, you'll see our conversation differently. You might not want to, but you'll see it differently if you want to. I can get you a pink tracksuit, Jen. Send me a message. I know you did already, but I just need to know size for you, and I'll order a pink one in the next round, and we'll get you squared away. Anyway, powerful lesson on being creates all the thinking. Of course, there's a whole different level of it when somebody's coming at you and their thinking is, you screwed me, right? Because our tendency is to say, no, I didn't, and defend and provide all this evidence why they're wrong. Their being can't see it. From who they're being, it looks real. You got to remember that. So if you want to move other people, you got to stop working at the level of their thinking or even their actions. You go and say, who are they being to be thinking that thought, and maybe have a conversation about that. And the same is true for ourselves. With that, I got to jump on a call. For those of you coming late to the party, I'll be doing a bunch of lives this week because I'm doing a lot of enrollment conversations. I got like 30, 40 conversations with people. It's going to kick up a lot of stuff for me and others, and I'll be sharing with you. Have an amazing day.